This. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are today. Thank you all for coming. I can't believe it. What a turnout. I'm super excited to chat with you guys today. My name is Jamie, and some of us might have met before over the past few months or years of using Talkatoo, getting onboarded to the platform. And the reason we're here today is to talk to you about some of the new advancements we've made to the platform. If you're not using some of the new AI features like our Dictation Assistant or our Auto-SOAP feature, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you how it works, give you a demonstration, and hopefully get you excited about it. If you're already using these tools today, this might be more of a review for you. But if you've heard about these things and you're interested in trying them out, you're definitely in the right place. And I'm also joined here by Sean, our founder. He's on the call as well. And yeah, we're super excited to get this in front of you guys. Thanks for being here. I'm going to try and just provide as much value as I can and teach you how these things work. We'll have time for questions at the end. And yeah, let's kick this off. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about today is our Dictation Assistant feature. And this is a new addition to the Talkatoo dictation experience on your desktop. And it provides a number of new tasks and skills that Talkatoo can do for you. And it also kind of gives you a different experience because you can talk to it like an assistant. And so there's a couple problems that we've identified over the past few years as I've been helping people get started with Talkatoo. Not everybody is great at dictation. So you might fumble, you might stutter, you may make a mistake. Yep. And we're all like that. We're none of us are perfect at this, and it's not easy to do it either. It takes honestly years of months at least of experience to get good at Talkatoo. And so the Dictation Assistant enables you it's more forgiving. It gives you a bit of breathing room, but there's so much it can do. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and introduce you to the Dictation Assistant. And you may have seen it before. You may have even opened it up and been like, what the heck is this? So on your widget, you can click the plus sign. Yes, Sean is a master of clean dictation. And so this is the Talkatoo Dictation Assistant. It stretches Talkatoo out. It puts it in an expanded view. And it certainly works differently. You'll notice there's a few prompts displayed in the middle of the window. And the most important thing to know about the Dictation Assistant is that when you turn it on, it won't transcribe where you've clicked. Rather, it'll transcribe inside of this window. And so to turn it on, to fire it up, you just start dictation as per usual with your microphone. And what happens next is really cool. So if I start my dictation and I start dictating about Molly Brown, who's owned by Jen Smith, she's presenting today for concerns about a rash on the belly. She's been chewing at her paws, and I'm stuttering a bit. And then I turn it off. The Dictation Assistant takes that and cleans it up. So the AI will pass through the transcript, add missing punctuation, correct words that may have been missed or disconnected even with the regular dictation experience, and just make it sound more intelligent. So if you're someone like me who is not a clean Talkatoo user and will fumble or screw up, using it in this mode is like a second spell check and an insurance policy on your dictation. So the AI will send it back to you in this window. You can click the squares to copy it to your clipboard, and then you can drop it in wherever you wish in your chart. So just drop your cursor in, hit Control V, and it's going to paste it into your chart. That's the Dictation Assistant in its simplest form. Clean up your dictation, add missing punctuation, but there's a whole lot more you can do to it. So if I want to start a new conversation with it, I can click New, and now I can start to get a bit more creative. If you have a callback, for example, that you're going to do with one of your clients, this is low-hanging fruit, and this is one of my favorite ways to get started with it. So if you were about to call someone up, you could click the prompt Summarize, which will format your dictation in a short summary. You could record audio for a 5 or 10 minute phone call, and the assistant will generate a brief summary. So I'm going to have a quick call with my colleague Sean here, and we'll see what the assistant can do. Hey, Sean, it's Jamie from Talkatoo calling. Do you have a sec to chat?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Jamie.
Fantastic, Sean. This will just take a couple minutes, but I wanted to give you a brief update on Molly. She is going to make a full recovery here at Lakeshore Veterinary Clinic, but we will need to keep her overnight. She's been sedated, and we expect she'll be ready for about a 12 p.m. pickup time tomorrow. We're wondering if that will work for you.
12 p.m. wouldn't work. I could get there probably directly after work, maybe like 2 or 3, if that's okay.
Of course, that's okay. Yeah, absolutely. We also will need to increase the dose of gabapentin that we've given Molly. So we'll have some forms to get signed off at the front desk when you arrive. And there's also an outstanding invoice of $250 that can be taken care of next week or end of this month. Did you have any questions about Molly's medications?
No, I feel really bad that I didn't pay that invoice. I totally forgot about it. Maybe you could let me talk to the front desk and I can give them my credit card and get it taken care of right away. And no, I know she's in good hands. I don't have any questions. I'll see you guys tomorrow, but happy to take care of the bill right away.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Sean. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Fantastic. So some bottleneck that people face when they're using Talkatoo after a call is they have to turn it on, click in, spoke to owner, patient said that, patient did this, increase the dose. You have to do all these things after the phone call. So if you can have your assistant window up and running live, just click start dictation and it will summarize that call. So it's taken this ginormous blurb of text and created a brief summary. And one of the coolest things about the assistant is now that we've started a thread, we can turn on dictation again and actually refine it or do more with it. So if I start again, for example, please change the above summary into bullet points and make it a bit shorter so it's easier to read. A set of specific instructions in that window will refine or change the result that the assistant first supplied you. So now I've got a bulleted list and I can copy this with the 2 squares and I can drop that in the client communication area of my PIMS. So this is a wonderful way to get started with this tool. Record your next phone call. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, what if it's not on speakerphone? And people ask me that all the time. So the way to get this to work is if it can only hear you as you're doing your phone call, you're in front of the mic, just replay aloud some of the answers that your client is giving you. So if Sean wasn't available at 12, I might say, oh, you're not available at 12? Okay, which time works for you tomorrow? Oh, 3:30? Okay, wonderful. We'll see you then. And did you have any extra questions? Nope, you're all good. Okay, great. So just by replaying that dialogue, you're going to give the assistant everything it needs to create that summary for you. You can turn it on and off as many times as you want. We could keep refining this. One of my favorite things it can do, definitely an edge case, but if you have a client that might speak in Spanish or a different language, you could turn this thing on, you could ask it to translate into Spanish. Please translate the above summary into Spanish, please. And if you say please twice, it will do it automatically. And this is a super neat thing it can do. It can translate up to, I think it's 95 different languages at this point. And you can copy this, drop it in your inbox, and you can send that straight to your client in their native tongue. Another cool thing you can do is you can do email summaries really easily, email communications. So if you wanted to turn it on, and please write an email to Sean Wilkie. Let him know that Molly's going to be ready for 12:30 pickup time. There's an outstanding invoice of $250. Also include a numbered list of medications we need picked up for Molly. Number 1 is gabapentin. Number 2 is butorphanol. And include my signature at the bottom of this email. Make it short and friendly. The instructions at the beginning are what is going to format your result. The content in the middle is what it's going to fill in with. And so you can see it's really good at formatting with numbers and bullet points, where the traditional desktop dictation, as you probably know, has struggled with numbers for a long time. Phone numbers, numbered lists, dates, those have all been concerns for a long time. No longer with this tool, just ask it to do a numbered list or a bullet list. So we can copy that, send it off to the client. There's another awesome thing you can do with this. And it's a little more advanced. So some people on the call may be used to using Talk a Text. Hopefully that's a feature you're aware of. And if not, it's tucked in your menu here, Talk a Text, and it allows you to create glossary items or macros where you might have something standardized like a cat spay or some kind of discharge instruction that's routine. It's standardized. You can pop one of these into your chart at any time. You would just click in, and for example, you'd say, insert healthy puppy. And there's my take on a healthy puppy. So I can use this tool actually inside of the assistant window. And if you have encountered a workflow issue with the traditional Talkatoo experience of being in a tight template with lots of checkboxes and headings where it's difficult to just dictate on the fly, you have to click through every area. That's something that I've really been investing time in, listening to people, kind of what they're going through, trying to understand this problem as I've seen more and more templates. So when we figured out this was possible, it got me so excited. If that's you, if you have a template currently with many different subheadings and it's a pain to click through every one, please listen carefully. This is so awesome. So if you open up Talk a Text, you can emulate one of your templates. So we could create a template here with all the subheadings and titles that are important to us, and then we'll give it a simple title. Maybe we call it, routine physical exam or whatever. Once we've saved it in our list, it might look something like this. I've called mine custom plan. I've left spacing in between each heading of the template, and I've also put colons up beside where I want the data filled in. You can put whatever you want in here. Once it's all filled out, you can insert that within your assistant window, and I'll start a new thread, and I can go like this. Insert custom plan. That's not going to work. It needs to hear my exact command, so we'll try that one more time. I'll try to say it correctly. Insert custom plan. Patient name is Molly Brown. Client name is Jen Smith. Date is September 23rd, 2024. Patient history, vomiting and diarrhea. They've been admitted 3 times this year to Lakeshore Veterinary Clinic. RX, gabapentin and butorphanol. Weight is 63 pounds. Mucous membranes pink and moist. CRT is less than 2 seconds. Eyes are cloudy. Discharge in both. Ears are waxy, full of debris. Mouth, there's mild dental calculus on the upper arcade. Abdomen is soft and tender. Assessment, number 1, rule out dietary versus environmental allergies. Plan is dispense Apoquel 16 milligrams, recheck in 2 weeks, and schedule a dental. Okay. And so in a moment, the assistant will have filled out my template with the data that I dictated. And this is such an improvement over taking Talkatoo and dropping your cursor in every single field. So when I put this into my practice management software or my blank template, I've now got a completely filled out template, and it's all formatted for me. So if that gets your brain, your gears moving, step 1 is check out your Talk a Text window and try building a couple templates. You can also copy and paste content into the assistant window. So if you've got something like, lab work that's come back to you, or, an email that's come to you, you can paste that content in here and ask it to do a number of things, whether it's summarize it, put it in a specific format. There's also a couple other prompts you can do here, like you could just do a dictation and have it formatted into 4 sections, SO and A and P, and you can get creative with these. So that's the Dictation Assistant, and it solves a bunch of problems that we've noticed Talkatoo hasn't solved just yet. So we're super excited to introduce you to that. And next, I want to talk to you about a new tool called Auto-SOAP. And what's exciting about this is it actually all takes place on your phone. So it works on Android, iOS. It would work on a tablet as well. Some of you might already have the mobile app to interact with the mobile microphone, which is a substitute to a plug-in dictation mic. You can scan your mobile mic up using a QR code in your menu. But this new addition to the mobile app gives you a bunch of freedom with your dictation. So you no longer have to be in front of the computer. You could be in your exam room, you could be in your car, in the hallway. So think of this as Talkatoo on the go. And I'm going to mirror my phone screen here and give you a tour of the mobile app. All right, so this is the new and improved mobile app. There's a toggle switch at the top. You'll notice the mobile mic side prompts you to scan your QR code. So some people on the call may have used the mobile mic in the past. We've now built in this reconnection button so you can tap here and it will automatically connect you to the latest computer. So if you don't have the new version of the mobile app, after this call, go ahead and visit the App Store, just update the application, and you'll notice a ton of improvements. What I want to chat to you about is the auto-SOAP note side of the app. So this is the main interface. And again, this allows you to record from anywhere. You do not need to be in front of the computer. And everything you record automatically will be formatted as a SOAP note. You could also talk into this directly, like if you wanted to record jot notes or just some recheck, like a paragraph or a recheck, you could do that as well and retrieve the dictation in plain text. But the most exciting thing about this is the auto-SOAP feature. So imagine you go into the exam room, you do your 15-minute exam, you walk back to your computer, you pull up the chart, you type it all out again, or you dictate it. There's kind of a flaw there because in the room, all of the details are observed and spoken about for the most part. And so what this tool allows you to do is capture it in real time. So the new and enhanced workflow with this is you walk in with your phone, you greet your client, you explain you've got an awesome new way of doing charts, you ask if you can record the exam, and when you're ready to go, you tap this button in the middle. I'm going to make a test dictation for you. I don't have a room or a client to record, but I'll do a summary of a recent room that I've seen. So let's go ahead and get started. Patient Molly Brown is presenting today with owners concerned about a rash on the belly. Their owner noticed it on Sunday, and the dog seems to be chewing at her paws. Took the temperature today. It's 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Pulse is 120. Respiration is 20. Mucous membranes are pink and moist. CRT is less than 2 seconds. On the scale, her weight is 63 pounds. BCS is 4 out of 5. Pain score is 0. On physical exam, mouth teeth, there's some moderate dental calculus in the upper arcade. And her coat and skin, there is a raised rash over the caudal abdomen. All 4 paws show salivary staining as well. The remainder of the skin and coat look normal. Assessment on Molly today, we're going to rule out any dietary versus environmental versus seasonal allergies. And the plan for Molly today, we're going to dispense Apoquel 16 milligrams and give 1 tablet by mouth once daily for 14 days. We're going to recheck her in 2 weeks, and we did discuss scheduling a dental with her owner in 6 to 12 months. I can tap the same button in the middle to pause that recording. Though if I was in the wild with, out in the room with the client, I would keep that on for 15 or 20 minutes and allow the dialogue we have to fill in the information. So it's just important you verbalize your physical exam abnormalities. You'll notice I didn't state all the body systems, just talked about what was abnormal. And of course, when I'm taking that weight or that temperature, I want to say that out loud. Currently, I've paused the recording. At any point in time, you can pause the recording. If I want to leave this and come back to it later, I can click back. Now I'm on the main screen. I can jump in the room and repeat the process. Though the note I started is still accessible to me, and I can continue recording by clicking on it here and clicking add to this note. Since I've covered this room, I'm going to click on submit note, which will take you to your inbox screen. And here you can see the status of your note. You'll notice it just switched over to processing. That tells me it's on its way to the web portal. I can click back and I can repeat the process. So this is really a whole new way to use Talkatoo, bring it in the room, record your interaction, and send it off. And in a matter of minutes, that note will be ready for us to take a look at, and we can very easily drop it into the practice management software. So I'm going to stop showing my phone screen. I'm going to actually switch gears and walk you through a very important component of this process. It's our website. So you've been here before, maybe a long time ago. You can log into the website at the top right. So you'll click this button here, and it'll take you to your portal. And inside of this portal, you can click a couple different buttons that are relative to this. We'll start with the settings. So I want you to check out the settings page of the website after this call, and you'll notice each body system of our SOAP note template is listed here. You can fill in your preferred normal statement to take ownership of how this appears on screen. So I've listed out a couple various different statements, and these will fill into that SOAP note template if you don't talk about the body system during the recording. So if you're in the room and you don't mention the eyes will fill in with whatever you've listed here. You just set this up once. So before you make your first recording, come in here, write them out. And once you're happy with them, you could do a paragraph if you want. Go ahead and make your first recording. And very soon, I'm excited to announce towards the end of this month, there'll be a lot more configuration options in here. So we're opening this up to be able to change the name of some of these body systems and change how the actual text formats with different spacing and potentially how it's written out. And over the coming months, there'll be even more customization coming. To view all of your notes, you're going to click Talkatoo Notes on the left-hand side, and this will show you everything that's available to you. So Molly, who we just recorded, she's now ready to go. And you'll see the status listed on the right-hand side, awaiting review. That tells us it's ready. We haven't looked at it yet. So let's take a peek in here. I'm just going to refresh the page, and we're going to jump into Molly's note. And you'll notice it's formatted it in Talkatoo SOAP format with the subjective at the top and the vital signs listed under the objective, and of course, all of our body systems. You'll notice many of these are within normal limits, and that's because I didn't talk about them. Anything I did mention, like the coat and skin or the mouth and the teeth, those have been filled in with abnormalities. And just below, I've got my assessment and my plan. And so this has really taken out all the work for me. I've just taken the phone in the room. From here, I can copy the entire note or the relative sections that are important to me. And when I open up my chart, I'll find a blank spot and I'll paste it in. My exam notes are done. So if you haven't tried this yet, it's very exciting. And it's also interesting because you don't need to retrieve it as this template. If you wanted to just collect it as text, you can toggle up here. You can configure it into a text view. So you could grab this paragraph and do with it what you will. And this is where these new features kind of cross paths in a cool way. If you take this transcript and you open the assistant, you can click write a client communication and paste that transcript. Boom. Now you've got a client communication written up on today's visit for Molly. And the workflow to do this is going to be enhanced very soon. We've got so many updates coming, but currently the process looks like that. You're going to copy the text, you're going to paste it in. And in a moment, we'll see a really nice summary of this room, and you can refine it further. You could make it shorter. And yes, please drop questions in the chat as they pop up in your head. And so once you've taken this template and you've placed it in your PIMS, you'll click complete on this note. It'll remove it from your web portal. You can actually edit the text in here as well. So you can use Talkatoo if you want to make a direct dictation in here, or maybe you want to use an insert command to add color. If there's something standardized, you can absolutely do that. And when you've made a change to the template, the status has changed here as well. So if I go back to my list, I'm aware that this one's in review, but I haven't placed it in the PIMS yet. Once I've done that paste, I'll click on complete and it will be removed from this active view. This will still be stored in your portal just for you. And if you recorded the whole exam, you're going to have a transcript of what was spoken, which is awesome. So you'll know what was agreed upon, what was said by the client, and vice versa. And you'll have this saved in your portal. Okay, let's see. I think that covers the auto soap demonstration. Um, and like I said, a lot more is coming. So the last thing I'll say on auto soap is currently you must visit the website to grab your notes. Though in the very near future, you'll be able to retrieve your notes from the widget. So in your Talkatoo widget, you can toggle at the top here. You'll be able to grab your notes right from here. Major benefit. Awesome. Okay, so I think it makes sense at this point to take some questions in the chat. And I think we'll start with Danny. Is there a way to use our Apple Watch for recording soap versus our phone? At this point in time, Danny, I love this question. I've been lobbying for this for a while now. You're not the only one who's asked. Currently, no. I'm not ruling it out. I mean, the developers are pretty smart here at Talkatoo, but it does, the hardest thing is priority. So feedback is a huge component of our roadmap. And we now finally have an awesome way to log feedback in a tool that we have called our idea portal, which perfect, Sean, thanks a lot. And I'll link that to everybody on the call after this. So once you've made your notes, you've made some recordings, please drop in there, send some ideas. Danny, I'm going to keep lobbying for you on this one. I think it's genius. And yeah, we'll hope to see that in the near future on the roadmap.
Danny, it would be super helpful if you could click on that link and upvote that feature. We've had other people request it, and the way that we're building features now is we're listening to our customers. So the more that you guys tell us, if you think it's a good idea, that's how things get prioritized. So click on that link and find the Apple Watch feature and put a thumbs up.
Thank you. Awesome. And looks like we've got one from Alan here. Is the in the AI dictation, when you start new, do you lose the previous text, or is that saved in the portal? That's a great distinction. So when you're using the assistant feature, you may have done one of the custom templates, like I suggested you could earlier. And if you do that, make sure you copy it, click the squares and drop it in where it needs to go, because it won't save in your portal versus the current platform with auto soap where everything you submit does save in your portal. So that's a really great distinction. Thanks for the question, Alan.
Also, Jamie, I think he was talking about the ability to go back and forth through the threads.
I
And
see.
so I think you can do that, but
Mhm.
only for the current session. So
Yeah, there is a previous button right here. And I think it will get better over time.
no, it's the minute you minimize it, you can't go back. So it's always there to advance.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. And are there tutorials on the new options? Great question. Thank you for bringing that up. Everybody on this call, if you haven't been through like, a check-in call recently or an onboarding recently, I think you've got what you need to get started with these tools, but we're always available to check in. You can book me in for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and we can look at how you're pasting stuff in, and I can help try to give suggestions on the best kind of route for you to use these tools. There is also a self-guided training platform, though, that we've got posted on the website, which is right at the top here under resources. So if you know somebody else that's not on this call that wants to use these tools and they're more of a self-starter, you can check out Auto Soap onboarding right here, and this will guide you through the steps to get started, starting with the login and the download. All right, Danny, can you guys make extra exam room posters to inform clients about vets using recording? Yes, great question. So we've got this request a few times over the last couple months, more than a few times, and we've finally done it. So we've listened. That was one other announcement I had for you guys. There are posters now, the file to print the posters out at least. And so I'm going to make that available to you all, and you can print that out at your convenience and stick those up in your exam rooms. And that should definitely help with the conversation when you're kind of introducing this to your clients. Thanks, Danny. Okay, awesome. No more questions here, it seems. And I want to just walk you through these next steps here. So of course, now we're not just dictation, we've got the assistant and the auto-SOAP records. And hopefully this call was informative to you guys. I'm hoping that this is something new for most of you on the call. And if that's the case, then your next steps to get started would be downloading the mobile app. You can scan the code on this screen to do so. And if you haven't updated Talkatoo in a while, just quit Talkatoo on your desktop, reopen it, and that's when you can start to play with the assistant feature a bit more. And this is our ideas portal link. So I'm going to have this slide saved and sent out to everybody. You can click there to find our portal and start dropping ideas in there. You'll see great ideas from people like Danny, like Apple Watch recording. Tell us what's on your mind, and we're going to do our best to build it. And I've got two other exciting updates. So desktop dictation, as you've known it, is finally due for a major accuracy update, and that's coming very soon. And we also have an accuracy update to the auto-SOAP records, which is coming even sooner, along with the ability to retrieve your notes from the widget. So finally, some long overdue updates to the desktop version. So excited about that too. And we'll probably be doing more of these webinars. That's the last thing I want to add. We've never done this officially in this group format. I just want to say thank you so much for coming. I'm actually really thrilled to have this kind of turnout. And again, I just hope it was informative. We'll do more of these because there's so much more coming. And you don't have to figure it out on your own. I'll be here to launch it with you and show you how it works. Awesome.